So I wrote this book in 94 and 95, about 6 years after I'd been sacked from the Navy myself. And it ended up being part of the campaign to lift the ban. Thinking about a reading, there are a couple of examples in here of stories that just highlighted for me then, and still do, how ludicrous the ban was. So I've chosen one which I'd love to read to you. Just get my reading glasses on. RAF Corporal Ian Waterhouse was discharged from the RAF in 1994. The confidential official documents outlining what happened in his case are worth quoting at some length, as they demonstrate the current process of investigation and confrontation very well. On the 13th of September 1993, a former serviceman alleged that Waterhouse was homosexual. The individual was interviewed, and he stated that during July 1992 he saw Waterhouse in the company of an unidentified male companion at the Europride Gay March, which took place in London. He stated that they had spoken briefly, and he opined that Waterhouse appeared shocked at having been seen. The individual said that he believed Waterhouse to be homosexual, but that he could offer no evidence to substantiate his beliefs. He declined the opportunity to make a statement. At RAF Uxbridge on the 16th of September 1993, Waterhouse was interviewed after caution. He admitted he was homosexual. He consented to a search of his service accommodation. However, the items impounded were subsequently deemed to be of no evidential value and were later returned to him. There is no evidence to suggest that Corporal Waterhouse is or has been involved in homosexual relationships with any member of HM forces, or that criminal offences have been committed during the course of those relationships. Waterhouse has confessed that he is a homosexual, although there is no evidence to suggest misconduct, corruption, blatant or promiscuous activities, or unnatural behaviour on service establishments. Waterhouse was offered medical advice in accordance with RAF GAI 7008, an offer he subsequently declined. There was to be a 7-month delay while Ian Waterhouse waited to be told officially that he was being sacked and to be given a date for his last day of service. Although he was being sacked, he was required to continue working throughout this period. The inconsistency of a policy which requires Corporal Waterhouse to be sacked because of his sexuality, and yet requires him to continue to work out his notice, is clear. If his sexuality presents such a problem in the workplace that he needs to be dismissed, why is he still able to carry out his normal duties? These duties included regular spells as an armed guard at the gates of RAF Uxbridge. For some months after the investigation, knowing that he was going to be sacked, Waterhouse, whom one could expect to be suffering from depression and who was undoubtedly angry with his employers, was spending long periods of time alone with his rifle in West London. I was given an SA-80 automatic rifle and live ammunition and went on duty at the gate. You have to retake a test regularly before you're allowed to do guard with live weapons, and I retook and had my green card stamped on the 30th of October and the 30th of November 1993. I was feeling down about things, of course, and if they'd really got to me, I suppose if I'd been really screwed up by everything, I could have fired it at the dual carriageway, by the gate, or at the woman who lived in the house opposite. In a statement to his superiors at the time, he said, "It seems so stupid that since the 16th of September 1993, I've been allowed to work in a normal environment for 6 months afterwards. If 6 months, why not 6 years?" A question that no one seems to have an answer for. And of course, no one did have an answer for it. And in January 2000, that ban was finally lifted.